Happy Father's Day, YouTube. Thanks everybody for joining me at the end of a long Father's Day weekend. I hope everybody's had a good time. I hope you were fortunate as I was to get to see all you kids. I got a couple good meals out of the deal. I hope y'all did too. And I just want to say I love you to all my kids. Y'all make me very proud of you every day, and you are all much better children than you have father. And I'm excited to see where you're going in life. Let's jump right into the video before I get all teary-eyed, because ain't nobody wants to see a big hillbilly cry, right? This is actually a requested video. It's one of the few ones we've had where the request was very defined. And this is my top 7 reasons, or top 7 things I wished I had known about reloading before I got into it. So that was a request that I had. I've spent a couple weeks thinking about it, and I got you 7 good reasons that are things that I wished I had known before I got in. I know you're probably looking at my ragged T-shirt. It does have a lot of miles on it, but it means something to me, so I've kept it. And this is a shameless plug for a really good friend and mentor of mine, Mr. Ray Thompson, Upstate Karate. He doesn't know I'm doing this. This is just purely a shout out to Mr. Thompson and Upstate Karate for all they've meant to me for over the years. Mr. T, I got to get by there and get me some new shirts. Maybe get some more time in the gym with you. If anybody here is anywhere remotely close to the upstate of South Carolina and you're looking for martial arts training of any kind, do yourself a favor, do yourself a service. Go by and see Mr. Ray Thompson, Upstate Karate. Not only is he among the finest martial arts instructors, certainly on the East Coast, maybe in America, but he's just one hell of a human being and a great American. So you couldn't do yourself any more justice than go by and talk to Mr. T about martial arts of any kind. And if you know anything about MMA, his son, Stephen the Wonder Boy Thompson, is one of the finest fighters in the world. That'll give you a sneak preview of what's available there at Upstate Karate. Alright, jumping into the 7 reasons, or 7 things I wish, I don't know why I can't remember it. It's 7 things I wish I had known, not 7 reasons. But 7 things I wish I had known about reloading before I got into it. And here they are. In the order that I think that they are the most pertinent. Number 7 is primers and powders would be in short supply. I naturally assume powders and primers, all components in reloading, would be more available than factory ammo. But turns out reloaders are shooters too, and when they feel a shift or a panic in the market, they load up. They buy 20,000-30,000 primers at a time, 20-30 pounds of powder at a time, and I didn't realize that. And everything being finite like it is, supplies kind of got tapped out on me a couple times without me really being prepared. Sorry, bug got me. That's the way it is now south. But powders and primers will get off the shelves in a hurry. I wish I had stocked up a little better. I've been fortunate and I've been able to keep myself busy, finding a pound here, a pound there, and getting some components to keep myself reloaded. Number 7. And this is actually a pretty big one, is the type of equipment really isn't as important as you might think. At least that's my opinion. Now there are some really higher echelon pieces of equipment, Dillon and things north of that. But for a single stage reloader, if you're buying a quality piece of equipment, whether it be RCBS like I have, Hornaday, Lyman, Redding, you're not going to hurt yourself. Just don't overanalyze it like I did. I ended up kind of getting a little bit of paralysis by analysis. Just pick a color that you like, jump right in. At those levels, all the dies will thread into all the other presses. You can't really go wrong. All those companies have been in business for years. They're going to stand behind their equipment, and the equipment's definitely going to be better equipment certainly when you start than you are a reloader. So don't sweat the don't sweat that. Just pick a color that you like. Red, if you like, if you like red, get you some Hornady. Green, RCBS, and go with it. And you won't be sorry. Number 5 is the chronograph. No starter kit that I'm aware of has a chronograph, and I think if anybody's paying attention out there, Hornady, RCBS, whomever, these starter kits, man, put an entry-level chronograph in these starter kits. Yeah, I know it's going to drive up the price $100, but not having a chronograph really puts you at a disadvantage when you're reloading. There's so much information that you can extract from even a simple chronograph. It really allows you to vector your reloading in the direction that you want it to go, whether it just be for a plinking load or a performance load or a hunting load or what have you. But if you don't have that data, you're really just kind of pissing in the dark. So get yourself a chronograph if you're getting into reloading. It's a vital part of the game. Number 4, and that is how addictive this would become, and I mean that in a positive way. If I had known that earlier, I probably would have got in a little earlier, because it can take a lot of those unproductive hours that some of us have, maybe not everybody, but if you do have some unproductive hours, or maybe you sit around watching, big hillbillies on YouTube too much, get yourself into reloading, and you can feed your hobby of shooting, and it's just a great time. I mean, you will really, at least if you're like me at all, you will find yourself looking forward to that hour or hour and a half that you get to steal away and go sit in your loading room and pull the handle and really create something worthwhile. And number 4 really ties well into number 3. And through that addiction, through that constant learning process, you will have to, by the very nature of the hobby, you will learn a lot about guns in general and your guns in specific. There are lots of things that you will have to consider that you never have before, and I could make an hour-long video about that alone. And I'm not a particularly advanced reloader, so I won't go down that rabbit hole too far right now. But trust me, if you start reloading, you will within a month know more about guns than you ever have in your life. And that's why that one's number 3. Number 2 is, maybe that's a little selfish, and maybe it's just because I'm feeling the pinch right now a little bit, but I wished I had known other reloaders locally. Where that really comes in, other than just a fellowship, which, everybody likes that social element, but had I known some guys locally, the components which are governed by hazmat fees, powder and primer, can be had much less costly, or at least the price per pound or per unit can be kept into check a little bit better if you have somebody to split those hazmat fees with. I don't know anybody locally. All the reloaders that I know are scattered around the states, and I don't have the advantage of taking it, or I don't have the opportunity to take advantage of splitting those hazmat fees with somebody else that might want to order 2,000 or 3,000 primers, or that might want to order 5 or 8 pounds of powder. So if you know somebody locally and you're thinking about getting into it, pal around with those guys, because as my hat is crooked to everybody else that is me, it's just bothering me in that camera. Pal around with those guys. Let them show you how to order off of some of the good websites, whether it be Mid-South Shooter Supply, Natchez, tons and tons of them. Powder Valley, those guys. And if you combine an order, you really can save a lot of money, certainly per round. And the number one thing I wished I had known about reloading before I got in was how welcoming the community is. It really is its own little, I would say brotherhood, but there are some ladies involved, so we'll call it a community. Everybody that I know's a male, but I do see, I'm sure there are ladies that reload, and I will tell you, I've asked a ton of questions to both people that I know personally and to just out into the interweb about reloading, and I've never gotten a snotty answer back or you don't know what you're doing answer. Everybody's been very helpful. Everybody seems to be very honest about their one, their impression, and two, their experience level. You very rarely see anybody holding themselves out as the subject matter expert. You know, they will let you know, hey, this is my experience, be careful, that kind of thing. But it is a very warm, welcoming community, and there's a ton of knowledge out there with some of these people that if you will just reach out, they couldn't be happier to help you. And I hope to be able to pass that along in time. Maybe these videos are part of that. But those are the top 7 things that I wish I had known before getting into reloading. And I think the one thing that is common throughout all 7 is, had I known any one of them or multiples of them, I would have gotten into it a lot earlier. So I hope this has been helpful. Like in every video here at the end, I'll ask you for a like, subscribe, thumbs up, comment, something. Just let me know you guys are enjoying this. Had a really good response on our last video. And as I sign off, I'll say again, Happy Father's Day. And if you'll stick around, we'll make another one and we'll see you then.